Alright, hello everyone, it's Joseph here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video we are going to be returning to our GTA 4 tutorial series with a script and a vehicle tutorial for today as well. So in this one, we are going to be installing callouts as well as scripts such as search vehicle scripts, spotlight, to certain things like trainers as well. We will touch up on and a bit of everything. So we're going to do that here. I'm also going to be going over vehicles as well. And as old as GTA 4 is, it's highly recommended to make a backup of whatever you're doing, of course, before you do it. And also to just be cautious of modding, as a mistake can break your game, even in the slightest. So we're going to start off with a few things. So on LCPDFR, you can find these modifications as well. Sometimes you can find certain modifications like the native trainer on like GTA Inside All, or one of those sites. I can probably put that on there for you in the description, or on my Discord server as well. So we're going to go through A through Z here, as this would probably be the same for you eventually if you download every script as I have. If you don't have this script, feel free to skip over it. I will have timestamps for everything in the description. So we're going to start off with the first one here, which is the hotfix for the Dashcam mod. So we're going to be installing the Dashcam mod, which is the IV Dashcam v2. Okay, so download that, and also extract the 2.2.1 fix as well. So first let's extract this as well. This is going to go into your scripts folder, I believe. It's been a little while since I've done this, so just bear with me if I make a mistake in this tutorial. So now you can also put the 2.2.1 fix into your scripts folder as well. As you can see, the .NET version is 3.2.2.2012, and if you change that there, that is the 5.2.7.2013 version. Alright, so make sure you download that hotfix update. Alright, so now you can delete any files or folders, shall I say, if you've already extracted them. I'm going to keep them here for now so I can use it as a reference of where I am. So here, next up is the native trainer, which I highly recommend if you want to change with the weather, spawn weapons, anything like that. It's highly useful. So I would recommend putting this in your game directory as well. If you have the EFLC version of GTA 4, I wish this tutorial isn't meant to be ran on, as it's the 1070 intended version, downgraded from the complete edition. But if you have either version, just download and drag and drop all of them. If you only have GTA 4 1070, I just drag and drop trainer, ASI, and INI into there. But to be safe, I'm going to extract all of them into my game directory. Okay, you do not need to put in the script hook DLL. If we go to here, you can see the LCPDFR version of script hook is 6.11.2011. So this one that comes with native trainer is outdated by a year. So be cautious of what you install. Now, next up, we are going to be installing a first-person modification. Again, if you don't want a certain thing, just skip ahead to the next modification. Okay, again, it does include script hook, but be cautious of the modified date, as some of it can be outdated. So drag and drop the first person ASI and INI into your game directory. Okay, this is a screenshot of what they look like. I'm just going to be clicking on one here. So it works on vehicles, and it works in first-person camera as well. So that's what that looks like there. And you still got the third-person camera, of course. So next up, I believe, is APR as well, the automatic license plate reader. So you would put this into your scripts folder as well. Drag and drop them into there. Now I'm not going to go over the INI as that is a personal option of how you customize the scripts that you want to set up for your game. But we may go in game and check if everything works. But again, the video may be too long at that point. If something doesn't work for you, please be sure to let me know down in the comments below, or check out my Discord server where I do offer support to you guys. So next up is the area livery mod. So basically what this is, it takes the vehicle pack, the Valor pack from LCPDFR, and you got every officer patrolling in their correct jurisdiction. If you are a lore-friendly type of player, I would highly suggest this. So you have Brohan cops patrolling in Brohan. You have Dukes and Broker cops patrolling in Dukes and Broker. You have Alderney cops patrolling Alderney, so on and so forth. So this is essentially what that is there. Okay, so I think this goes into the scripts folder. Let me just see. Yes, okay, so it does go into the scripts folder. I tried to use this at one point or another, but I wasn't sure if I was able to get it working. I don't remember, it's been so long. So I just wanted to double check that there. So next up, before that, on this subject, let's go to Valor. Now we are going to be installing the vehicles here as well. Now I'm going to be installing certain things from this. So let's go to the ALM INI and your scripts folder. And then here you can customize the names there. So this can be a bit confusing, but again, all these vehicles have multiple liveries. So I'm going to run with this with you guys. So go to PC, Models, CD Images, Vehicles as well. And then you're going to want to go back to the Valor pack and extract them as well. This does have the Impala, CVPI, and the Caprice. The second one has the Charger, Explorer, and Tahoe. This one, the third option is just ELS. Settings, which you will need. Templates if you're a developer. If not, don't worry about it. The third option is the Taurus, Charger, Tahoe. So I'm going to be installing, I recommend installing about maybe 3 cars to GTA 4. The more cars you install, the more unstable it becomes. It's very old and you're running on outdated scripts, so just be cautious of how many cars you're putting into the game. I recommend replacing Police 1 and 2, because that's the most cars you are going to see on patrol. And then optionally in the future, not right now, but we will replace the Noose, because the Noose cars do respond a lot as well. So let's go to Impala, CVPI, and Caprice. Again, this is just my preference. So again, you are going to want to rename these. So let's go to Police. I'm going to name this one Police as well. Okay, for now, let's put these in Police 1 and Police 2 slots. So I'm going to say, okay, I want the CVPI. Okay, so you have 6 files, meaning you have 3 variations. You have the marked unit, you have the slick top unit, the slick top unit with the ram bar. For me, I am going to pick the marked unit as well. They should have a YFT and a YTD. So the YFT is the vehicle model file, and the YTD, I believe, is the textures. Correct me on that if I'm wrong. So rename those 2 files to Police and Police. Make sure they have YFT and YTD. Okay. And then you can replace them in OpenIV. Again, make sure you have a backup of everything before you change anything. Drag and drop this into there. As you can see, my police size is 454 kilobytes. That is the default police car's there. So you can see that is the default police car there. So if I change it, drag and drop it into OpenIV, it is now the custom vehicle as well. Okay, so again, this has Rohan, Dukes, Broker, Alderney, so on and so forth. Okay, so in OpenIV, okay, you're going to want to go to the INI. Again, I'm going to copy all my settings from the first car on the second because I want everything to be the same. Again, if you have I believe you can add multiple police cars to this. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I'm just going to put police 1 and 2 for now. Okay. We're going to get in the game later and we're going to see if this does work. I want to choose the Explorer. The Crown Victoria and the Explorer seem like a nice combo. Now again, make sure you back up anything before you change it, of course. Okay, so in this one with the 13 Explorer, you have two options, the marked unit or the slick top ram bar. I'm going to pick the marked unit as well. So rename this to Police 2. Police 2. Okay, make sure you have the YFT and the YTD in there too. Again, before you change it, this is just a reference. This is the Police 2 car slot for me. Alright, so this is what it should look like now. Okay, so you got the Explorer in there with the Valor light bar, of course. Go to the YTD. Okay, now just to double check, let's go to, what was it? Okay, so EXP sign. Okay, so Broker Dukes should be the first sign. Algonquin should be the second sign. Alderney should be the third sign, and Rohan should be number 4. Okay, so just make sure that is all the same. And that should be it for that. Now, again, for the car pack, go to the ELS option. Now, this is all downloaded separate, so if you did not include the folder 4 in your download, make sure to download that. So this is just some pictures of the vehicle pack here as well. This is what we will have in the game. Don't mind the picture, okay? But this is pretty old. So I have the sedan on the left that says Brohan. Again, all the cars have all the liveries, okay? So don't mind that. So the Charger on the right, I think is the 2015 Alderney. The CVPI is the Algonquin one. The one in the back right, I believe, is State Highway Patrol, which I have used before, I think so, in a patrol. The FPIU is the Broker Dukes one. And then again, I think the one in the back is possibly a sheriff. I don't remember. I think one of these, the blue one is a sheriff. I think so. But I don't use sheriffs in LCPDFR. I might one day. Okay, so again, all the caracals, aka ELS, Emergency Lighting System, settings are all the same. Okay, so just go to... Actually, before that, we haven't installed ELS yet. Right-click, open new window, so save that. Okay, save this window. Then go back to your scripts folder, okay? Now we need to find ELS, okay? I know, I'm sorry if this is a bit all over the place, but this is just how crazy it is to install modifications. Okay, so I do apologize if I'm going a bit too fast for you guys. I just try to bear with me on that. So again, go to ELS. For this car pack specifically, you're going to need ELS. GTA 4, in here. Let's go to... let's see, I'm trying to find ELS. Sort by name. Script hook. This does have a script hook file in it. So this time date is a bit, well, it is the same for the script hook version, so that's the same. If you use XLive, do not put dsound into your game. If you use dsound, make sure you are on the latest version of dsound, okay? I personally prefer Xlive, that's just me. So I am going to put ELS in here, ASI and INI. Okay. And then check on Advanced Hook DLL. Okay, so make sure that is the same there, which it is. I'm not going to change it. Since I have the original version from LCPDFR already. And drag and drop common and ELS folders into your GTA 4 directory as well. Replace anything if it says so. Okay, now go to your directory, go to the ELS folder, minimize this. Go to the vehicle folder, the Valor one, and then drag and drop Valor config and select config into the game. Now, the vehicles I installed, remember guys, I installed the marked units, okay? So if you do not have a light bar on top of your car, you would pick the slick config version. But since I have the marked units, I'm going to left click and Control+C, copy the file name, Valor config, go to slot control, INI, and then I'm going to turn off ELS settings. I highly recommend doing this for vehicles that you have not replaced. Okay, so just about everything you can replace here. Now I am disabling ELS on certain vehicles that I'm not going to be replacing it in this tutorial. Okay, just so you guys are on the same page with me on that. That's just my liking of LCPDFR. I just disable ELS on vehicles I don't use. Okay, so here. So police, where it says file, default config. Replace this with Valor config for police 1 and police 2. Okay, if you have installed a slick top vehicle, put in the slick config. Okay, so that should be it with ELS. Now let's go back to the scripts. We are done with vehicles for now. I'm only going to be installing 2 vehicles for now. So really quick, to make a quick edit, I did make a mistake. I did forget to tell you guys that for the area patrol mod, you have to edit vehicles.ide and you have to put plus livery on the police and police 2 slot, and any other police slot that you would set up for that script in the i9. So for me, I wasn't able to have the liveries spawn in each area because I did not set the multiple livery setting in the vehicles.ide file. So make sure you do that also. Now let's install some callouts. So this first callout I'm going to be installing is the the backup callout. Read that wrong. I think this one is made by Fincone, if I remember correctly. So any callout you would make, such as the backup callout, put that into LCPDFR plugins. Okay, this is going to be exclusively your callouts folder. Okay, not your scripts folder, your plugins. Okay, sorry about that, guys. I think the Breathalyzer script is made by Braveheart, if I can recall correctly. It should be made by Braveheart. I think so. Yeah, created by Braveheart. There it is. So this is my Breathalyzer script that I use. Again, I'm probably not going to go over all of these scripts in this video because there's just so many. But you can go into your settings, INI, before you go into the game yourself. That way you can know what your keybinds are to use them. So in the United States, the blood alcohol content limit for driving is 0.08. Of course, if you are a bit lower than that limit, people can still officers can still arrest you if you still cannot demonstrate your ability to drive. But generally, that is the ruling there. So you have a few keybinds here, which you're going to probably want to play around with and change to your liking. Shift B is to use the Breathalyzer test. You have to press both of them together. Shift plus B. Okay. Stop the cars to stop traffic is Alt plus G. Allow one car to move is Shift I. Allow all the cars to move is Shift U. Okay. Now I would probably recommend creating a little like document of all your keybinds as well. I memorized most of mine, but I forget sometimes too. But some of mine are, especially for LCPDFR, as I don't play that very often. Okay, so back to it now. Drag and drop all 3 files here. Again, if it's not linked down below, it's not available anymore. But this is Callouts Plus here as well. Just drag these into the game plugins folder there. Now the audio folder goes into audio, LCPDFR, audio, I think please scanner. If I remember, let's read it. Okay, so audio goes into LCPDFR, audio please scanner. Okay, that's what I thought. I think you can replace or copy and paste these. I'm going to replace them. Okay. It's always recommended to replace files if you're prompted to do so. Apart from that, let's go to the next script. So this is the door Ajar script, the door chime, if you will, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to install this. Let's read this. I think this goes into the scripts folder here. The door Ajar Hyunai. And now you can go to OpenIV. Okay, this does have an extras IVAUD file, so that's a sound file. So let's go to PC Audio SFX, I believe. Okay, so go to Resident RPF Resident, and then in here, Extras. Okay, that's why I couldn't find that. Okay, so right click, Replace, and then let's go to the Downloads folder. And if it is replaced, it should say compressed, okay? So that is done. Go to extras. Again, I should have done this earlier, but I just forgot to do it. I do apologize for that. A defragment. And rebuild the archive as well. And that should fix that. So next up, which a lot of you probably would want, is the no crosshair mod. So this is a no reticle. And it also changes the weapon behavior, making them a bit more deadlier, I believe. So we can go to the game directory, GTA, Grand Theft Auto IV, GTA IV, and this is the directory here. Drag and drop common and PC folders into the game and replace it if it says so, of course. Extract the weapons folder. We're probably going to need OpenIV for this. Common. Data. No, okay. So I think this one is the backup one. So if we go to common, data, weapons info. Okay, so drag and drop weapons info. Now, if you have not backed up your file, this file here is the backup one. If you forgot to back it up, you can just rename this, for example. Rename this to weapons info, and if you had to back up your file, replace it back in the game, if you had to. But since you don't, you're pretty much done with this one. Next up is police scanner. So I think this one is a LCPDFR modification, I believe. Okay, yeah. So this one I haven't installed before, which is new to me. So it's basically like a police chatter radio sort of thing. Like if you ever listen to like a live broadcast of a police scanner or watch TV shows like Live PD or anything like that, you'll hear the police talking on the radio and having like random conversations. So if you want this type of thing, go to audio and replace anything in here if it says so. Now I think also it does include new dispatch audio files. I think. I don't know. So if dispatch, for example, says the vehicle color is black and it's like a contender truck or something like that, it should have new audio files as well. And I think it should have the police files as well that are new. So I think that's what that is. I think it's either the police chatter for dispatch or it changes dispatch entirely. It makes her sound different than the original. Because the original dispatcher says things like or in, things like that, and it's kind of a bit annoying. So this one changes it and hopefully makes it a bit better. I think that's what that one was. It's been a while since I've installed some of these, since I've downloaded them. So I did forget what some of these actually were. Just bear with me on that. Okay, so scripts. Going back to scripts now. This is the speed reader as well, which is pretty cool. It'll say what speeds it is from the front and back of the car. Apart from that, we're about halfway there now. We're about halfway there. Okay, so next up is rush hour. This one is a callout. Okay, so remember we have to go to LCPDFR. Oops, wrong folder. LCPDFR. Okay, plugins. Okay, and then we can put this in here. Go back one folder. Audio. Whoops. Audio. Please scanner. Drag and drop this into here. Replace anything if it does say so. Alright, so that was rush hour. Seatbelt chime. Now, earlier we installed the door chime when it's ajar. This one is the seatbelt. So if you want the seatbelt one, you can have this as well. So go to scripts, of course. It is going to take a bit to load, as it does have some sound files in it. And then it doesn't have anything for OpenIV, so just drag that into the folder there. Okay, so this one does have, let me see, a .NET ASI. We have a version already. It's a 2012 version here. This one's a 2010, so do not put this one into the game. So that was Seatbelt Chime. Snow. Okay, so if you want to patrol in the snow, you can put this into the game. I'm not going to do that one. I might do that one in the future if we do have like a graphics modification, and if we want to have it snowing, we can install that. But generally, you don't need this if you're not going to be running snow patrols. So next up is stop sticks. Okay, so let's read this. Okay, so let's go to PC in OpenIV, data, maps, props, roadside. And then it should be rubbish IMG. Okay, so like I said, it's been a while since I've installed some of these into GTA 4. So just bear with me on that. Okay, so let's open up bm_scrap.wtd. So this is what this looks like here. Basically just a wood plank, which is going to be replaced as a spike strip. Okay. For some reason, GTA 4 natively, Rockstar Games made spike strips, roadblocks essentially. They didn't have spike strips, but they had roadblocks, such as wood barriers, and maybe even those police sign barriers as well. So this is what it is here, just a plank. So we can replace this here. And now it is a spike strip 3D model, which is really cool. We can have that as well. Again, replace the second one, which is the YTD, the texture one. Okay. So replace that here as well. You should have this one here as well. Okay. You should have that texture So that was Stop Sticks. A couple more, guys. We're getting there. We're getting there. Wasteland, again, this one is a callout. So you're going to want to go to LCPDFR. And then plugins as well. And then go back one folder, go to audio. And then please scanner, drag and drop, replace anything if it does say so. Okay, so apart from that, that was the Wasteland. Next up is Ticket Time. Now, for me, Ticket Time, the text on the screen is very hard to see. Okay, but if you want Ticket Time, I'll install it for you guys, or show you how to install it. But I'll tell you this: the text on the screen is very, very small. Okay, so go to here. This is the bottom part of the note that says install it to the scripts folder and press Z when exiting the car. So you have to press Z and then exit the car to activate it. Okay. And then from there, next up, Ticket Time, traffic flow. This one is essential. If you get the taxi bug in GTA 4, let's see where you have to put this one into the scripts folder. So if every 5 to 10 cars spawning in the game is a taxi, I'm going to want to put this in here. If you go open up the i9, you can change what cars spawn in the car gen, which is the Oracle, Infernus, Sultan, Bus, Blista, Faction, Huntley, Cavalcade, Moonbeam, Vildante, Feroci, Pony, Speedo, Saber Super 2, PCJ, Energy 900, Admiral, Faggio, and the E109. Okay. So if you are getting crashes here from this mod, try increasing the chance of random dispatch. Basically what those are is the fire trucks, ambulances, or police cars driving around to a scene with lights or sirens on. That's basically what that one is. Okay, so turn tires as well. Let's put that into the scripts folder. Okay. And then the canine script, which I think we might use OpenIV with, I believe. Yeah, model. Okay, so let's open up the README. Let's see, goes to installation here. Okay. So if you haven't already, download, install HazardX's net script hook. So if you downloaded LCPDFR, which all of you have already by this point, you already have it, so don't worry about that. So let's install all the script files into this one first to GTA 4 scripts, okay, as it says in the README. And then step number 4, go to models. Wait, what? I'm trying to see. Okay, so PC models CD images, component peds IMG, and then replace cowboy. Okay, so this is a replacement ped. Okay, so let's see what the cowboy ped looks like. Yeah, I don't think I ever saw the cowboy in the game, except for the movie theater, right? When you're at the movies, on the date in GTA 4, it's the only time you see this character. And when you play GTA 4, you're never, interacting with friends, or you're never loading the movie theater assets. Okay, so you should be fine with this. So again, the only time that you would see the cowboy model is, if I remember, is when you go to watch a movie at the theater. Not a movie per se, but more like a show in GTA 4 with a friend or by yourself. But again, when you're playing LCPDFR, you're not going into theaters or anything like that, or going on a date to trigger that show. So I don't think you would need to worry about that. but that is what that replaces. So I wouldn't play the story if I were you guys, with mods, of course, at least with police mods installed. So let's go to this one, Open IV. Let's go to audio, PC audio, SFX, script mission, okay, RPF, and then replace EX2 deconstruction. If I go to this one here. Okay, so I'm not going to open up the file because it might be super loud and I don't want to disrupt that. But you can just replace this right in there. Okay, replace that file in there. Now, again, it does say mission, so this is probably some mission audio. Possibly ambient or dialogue audio in there. So apart from that, that is the K9 script for you guys. Okay, so there's about 4 or 5 more things. Okay, so we're getting closer now, guys. We're getting super close. So thank you for sticking with me until the end of the tutorial. Okay, so this is the medical coroner. Now, we already have all the requirements here. Don't need to worry about that. Let's go to the scripts folder here. Not the scripts one, the mods folder here. Go to scripts, drag and drop the examiner ININDLL into the scripts folder there. Open up the README again. I'm going to want to replace the vehicle first, which is the Speedo van, which is models, vehicles, IMG. So PC, models, CD images, vehicles, okay. And then in vehicles, you're going to want to locate Speedo, I believe. So let's type in Speedo. Speedo, okay. So this is what it looks like here. This is just the Vapid van there. Okay. Now, if you go to Medical Examiner, go to Speedo Model. Now, there is 2 settings, one with a light bar and without a light bar. I don't think the light bar, I think it's just there for show. I think the light bar is just there for show. So I'm going to put the light bar there, which is just for show. Okay, but that's just how it is. The texture, I'm going to put the Livery City one with the light bar. Okay, if you chose without the light bar, you put without the light bar. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the Speedo. This is what it looks like now, what it should look like in the game. Okay? Liberty City Medical Examiner. METT. Alright, so now let's go replace the body bag, which you will need to do. Now, this one's optional, but if you don't want a trash bag being picked up from a medical team and it should be a body bag, this is the proper body bag model that it replaces. So let's go to PC, models, PC data, maps, props, roadside, rubbish, IMG. And then okay, so this one is for the light bar here. Okay, so this is how to enable the light bar. Okay, first, okay. So before that, let's finish installing the body bag mod. So again, this should be the trash bag. Okay, that's the trash bag. So if you go to Medical Examiner, trash bag, I want to pick Liberty City. Okay. This is the body bag that comes with it as well, which is kind of cool. And then now go back to the README. Now this is for advanced users. This is optional if you have not used the light bar or the ELS version. We don't have either of those, or I did not install either of those in this tutorial. So if you're like me who did choose the light bar, we can go to, now we can make this spawn on NPC vehicles as well, which I personally would recommend doing, since again we replaced it as the coroner van, okay? Just to make it a bit realistic, so go to GTA 4, Common, Data, Vehicles IDE, so let's type in Vehicles IDE, and then go to Speedo. Okay, so if I go to this one here, if I go to Speedo, actually I cannot quick search with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag and drop this file into here and edit, okay? And then I'm going to Control F. I'm going to search for Speedo. If I can find Speedo. Lowercase maybe? Hold on. Lowercase? There we go. Okay. So let's go back up to Speedo here. I cannot find it now. Okay, here it is. Here it is. Okay, so let's go to Speedo. Remove ext all flag. Okay, so step 5, go to Speedo here. And then remove the ext all flag. Okay, and then that should be it there. Okay, so this is a new file. So drag and drop this into the OpenIV. Alright, it should be updated now. Next up, to get the civilian Speedo vans in various colors, I go to Common Data Cargles as well. Alright. Again, we would want to open this up in a notepad. Okay, let's go to Cargles Dat and replace Speedo. I can find Speedo in there. Okay, so in this line, Speedo, it should be this one here. Alright, so copy and paste this under the Speedo line right there, highlighted in blue, okay? And then drag and drop the Cargles Dat back into OpenIV. And then it's Shift plus M. If I remember that, I'll use it. Let's go to... Okay, so there's about 4 or 5 things left. I'm trying to go through this as fast as possible for you guys. Okay, so let's go to scripts, I believe. Drag and drop INI and DLL into the scripts folder there. And please helper as well. Now, if you need help, there's a README and a PDF in there for you guys. Towing service, this is always recommended. If you are playing LCPDFR, you're going to want to tow cars, of course. So put that into your scripts folder as well. And then vehicle search as well. Put this into the scripts folder as well. And last but not least, another callout pack, which is Wouters, okay? Now again, some callout packs may not be available, I'm sorry about that, but these were originally updated back in like 2011, 2012-ish, so a lot's changed since then, okay? Let's go to plugins, LCPDFR plugins, okay? Drag and drop these two into there. And then audio, of course, go back to LCPDFR audio. Drag and drop the police scanner files into the folder, replace it if it says so. And that should be it. So these were all the modifications such as vehicles, scripts such as callout packs, and police modifications for GTA 4, such as the medical examiner, police helper, vehicle search, ticket time, speed radar, no crosshair, aka no reticle, AMPR, Breathalyzer, the native trainer, and then Dashcam, first person mod, and a few miscellaneous things like that. If you stop watching at this point, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for your support. If you need any help or want to provide any feedback for me, please be sure to let me know that in the comments below.